Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Tolliver, and I am a resource specialist for the school district of Osceola County. And today, what I'm going to tell you about is about STEM mobile labs. This session is titled Seatbelts, Everyone. Learn aboard the STEM mobile lab. In this session, we will redefine STEM-based learning through a STEM mobile lab. You will learn how this makerspace on wheels uses a combination of engaging, career-centered curriculum with whole group teamwork and problem solving, all in a unique, high-tech setting that will leave students with an experience that creates lifelong learners that are hungry for more. You will also learn that there are many kinds of STEM mobile labs, from large retrofitted coach buses to smaller drop labs, designed shipping containers that can deploy a science lab on demand. Finally, you will learn how a STEM mobile lab can foster new opportunities through partnerships for your school district, bringing in much needed support to your students. A little bit about myself and my background. My name again is Christopher Tolliver. I was born and raised in Vero Beach, Florida. And throughout my educational years, I struggled to find anything that would ignite my passion for learning. I was at constant odds with my teachers as I never fit into the mold expected by a traditional public school education. This was the main drive for me to become a teacher. I knew there were many young boys and girls that, like myself, were at risk of slipping through the cracks, missing out on higher education and STEM career opportunities because they discover at a very young age that learning is just not fun. I began teaching with a bachelor's in middle school science education, where I developed a reputation for integrating career-based STEM projects into my science curriculum. I noticed these efforts bore fruit as my students would consistently outperform their peers. After 2 years of science education, I began teaching Project Lead the Way, a collection of packaged STEM-based curriculum for all grades K-12. It was then that I truly recognized the transformative power of STEM education on young learners. After 8 years of classroom service, I left the hallways and joined the ranks in the district office as the STEM Mobile Lab Resource Specialist. At this point, the Osceola County STEM Mobile Lab had been in service for 5 years, and it was decided it needed a new vision for the next generation of young minds in Osceola County. So what is a mobile lab? A mobile lab is an umbrella term used to describe a vehicle or a pod that provides a specific on-location service. There are a wide range of services available through mobile labs. You are already familiar with mobile labs if you have ever seen a blood donation bus. These services are as varied as the STEM careers they support, with mobile labs studying the environment, providing healthcare, promoting biosafety, offering diagnostic services, and even some mobile labs that are built purely for entertainment. The purpose of a mobile lab is to bring a service to a group or an organization that would normally not have access to those services, or to reach out to promote community messages. The STEM Mobile Lab is a great way to foster creative opportunities within the community. One example is our recent collaboration with Echo Labs and the digital design students at Osceola Technical College to create this video. Let's take a look inside the STEM Mobile Lab. The question that I am always asked when I say that I operate the STEM Mobile Lab is, what is STEM? Traditionally, STEM is an acronym that stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It is a career that uses all of those elements in harmony in order to innovate and make people's lives better. That is what the core of STEM is. So when the mobile lab rolls up to a school or appears at a special event, it is not just look at this cool science thing or check out this cool technology. It is how does it all work together in order to make someone's life better, in order to improve life on this planet, in order to really just push us one step further as a civilization using all those elements together. So a lot of the things that we focus on the STEM lab are career-centered and are career-focused. And that extends to everything that we do.
My first experience flying a drone, I was really scared of crashing it. For the first time, like, I didn't want to just like go flying off and then go and then get hit like a wall or something. But besides that, it was like pretty easy, I think. I was able to maneuver it and stuff.
STEM Mobile Lab is accessible for K through 12 and in post-secondary. And really what that does is that ignites that passion for learning in STEM and engineering at a much younger age and really captures a student's imagination so that as they go through their classes, they start to focus more on STEM. By the time they get to high school, by the time they get to post-secondary, we have our new leaders in the engineers field. We have our new innovators in engineering.
While on the STEM bus, Mr. Tolliver has taught us that drones and VR are many career paths, and that many people make a living off of it. And honestly, it opened up my eyes to many options.
So our cornerstone module aboard the STEM Mobile Lab is called the Mission to Mars. When students board the Mobile Lab, they take the role of Martian explorers and astronauts that will actually journey to the surface of Mars by using the Mobile Lab as a vehicle. To help students do that, we've incorporated a lot of AR and VR technology to bring to life this sense of actually leaving the surface of the Earth, of actually walking around on the surface of Mars and collecting Martian samples and performing experiments like would typically be done in a SpaceX mission or a NASA profile. We do this by using a combination of AR and VR technology. We've had a custom app developed that runs on our iPads that students will then use to interact with different areas of the mobile lab to experience what it's like to look out the window and see Olympus Mons on the horizon and the moons hanging overhead, or what it would feel like to actually lift off the ground on an actual rocket launch. It's a VR experience walking around on the surface of Mars, but it's also, how was that programmed in the first place? How do the headsets actually work? How can I create my own? Everything has been designed with careers in mind. The STEM Mobile Lab is a unique 45-foot-long classroom that travels throughout the community of Osceola County, serving its K-12 Title I students, bringing them one-of-a-kind, high-tech learning experiences which expose them to the in-demand science, mathematics, and engineering careers of the 21st century. We have a host of high-tech equipment, including 16 computer stations that are all linked to each other through our Extron system, a chemistry lab, a motion lab, an energy generation lab, a Paratanafi and DJ Mavic UAV piloting program, all of which are supported by a range of AR and VR simulations. So what exactly does a STEM mobile lab do? A STEM mobile lab is a means to deliver engaging curriculum to students that may otherwise not have the exposure due to limiting factors and challenges that face public education, such as limited school and classroom budgets, proximity to engaging learning opportunities and field trips, or a lack of career-level experts to make appearances within a classroom to engage with students about their profession. A STEM mobile lab becomes a nexus point of all those things. Imagine a teacher wishing to engage her students with a coding and programming unit. A hard-hitting way of teaching that unit would be to purchase a set of robots, such as the popular Sphere robots, as well as the laptops or iPads with which they operate. It is no exaggeration that the students would be blown away with these materials. However, the Spheros are only one unit within the teacher's yearly curriculum, so they would be at risk of not seeing use for a majority of the school year. They would also not reach a wider student audience, being limited to just a single classroom. Instead, that equipment can be installed onto a mobile lab, and the lab can deploy across a district to schools as needed by their teachers when their students reach those points in their curriculum. Additionally, a STEM mobile lab can serve as a learning stage for experts to come on board and use the lab's equipment for demonstrations to students. Although these demonstrations are live for students at a single school, they can also be live broadcast over a mobile lab's streaming network to schools across a district to serve as a virtual field trip for many other classes. To go one step further, instead of a mobile lab bringing nurses from a local hospital on board, cameras from the mobile lab could do a mobile walkthrough of the hospital, all while facilitating a Q&A to the students throughout the district. For the Osceola County School District STEM Mobile Lab, it specifically facilitates learning for all Title I students, K-12, throughout Osceola County. It does so regardless of any language or physical barriers they face. As a mobile operation, I can meet the needs of the classroom, unpacking meaningful engagement pieces to fit within any classroom curriculum. The flexibility prevents the mobile lab from becoming a high-profile distraction, and instead it seamlessly integrates into the unit being taught by the teacher. A classroom could see me earlier in the year where I unpack a Newton's Law module to fit within that teacher's motion unit, only to come back later and teach about solar and wind power within an energy and the environment unit. The mobile lab's accessibility to all schools also ensures that regardless of the funding levels of that school, live or virtual, every student is getting the same hard-hitting and exciting curriculum. Modules on the mobile lab are all written to be ELL and ESC accessible, and the physical shell of the lab is ADA compliant with a wheelchair elevator. All modules are broadcast through the mobile lab's social media account, and through the chat features, students working in a virtual environment are still able to participate in a meaningful way. True engagement comes from the module's story. Each module has a hook that brings students into the world of STEM. With the Motion Lab, students are taken back in time to the medieval ages, where they take on the role of knights in a jousting competition, battling each other for dominance. In the Energy Generation Lab, students are climate scientists looking to combat global warming and reduce carbon emissions, and must use their knowledge of forms of energy to create safe, renewable alternatives. The keynote module, Mission to Mars, takes students on a Martian expedition where the mobile lab virtually leaves the Earth to land on the surface of Mars. Students must accomplish a series of mission objectives, such as repairing a damaged rover and studying Martian soil samples, all before returning to Earth. All the modules are written to facilitate spontaneous creativity. There are very few steps that students must follow. Only the background knowledge and the mission objectives are communicated to them. No two solutions are the same, and through the students' innovation and teamwork, they are able to accomplish their goals. This is the heart of STEM education and is the #1 mission of the STEM Mobile Lab. I would like to mention a wonderful organization called the Mobile Laboratory Coalition. The MLC is an international community of mobile lab operations focused on STEM. I have found there are as many types of STEM mobile labs as there are STEM careers to support. One of the big takeaways is that every member of the MLC is different. The Osceola County STEM Mobile Lab is a converted coach bus. Learning Undefeated in Maryland, among their fleet, deploys Drop Anywhere labs, converted shipping containers, each with a specific STEM theme built into them. Ollie, Ocean Lab's virtual submarine, uses wall-to-wall flat panel TVs to give students the look and feel and experience of submersing through a coral reef. STEM mobile labs are highly adaptable, and the possibilities are limitless. So by now, I know you are thinking about starting your own mobile lab. I strongly believe in the learning potential of having a serviceable mobile lab as part of your organization. There are many questions to consider before taking those first steps, and you need to have a solid plan of action. What is your mobile lab's message? Is there a theme you want to promote? Or do you want to gear all your modules centered around a core idea? The most powerful mobile labs always have a strong message. Who is your audience? Are you operating for students or for adults? Are you for a younger education or for professional development? Knowing who you are communicating to will drive your decisions. Who will be your support? Your driver, your operators, your educators, your curriculum writers, your maintenance staff. All of these are the behind-the-scenes team that you need to consider. You will also need support from your community, either through partnerships or through advertising of your efforts. Mobile labs are fantastic pieces of promotion, so don't forget that. And finally, think into the future. Because a mobile lab promotes a 21st century workforce, it needs to reflect those efforts. It must be willing to update, change, and move with the trends of STEM careers. The knowledge and equipment it imparts should always reflect what is relevant to young STEM learners. We must prepare students for careers that don't exist yet. This is the goal of STEM education, and something that I didn't have when I was most needed. When I was a young 12-year-old boy, growing up with nothing but video games and a lost interest for the prospects of learning and education in general, I would have given anything to have the opportunity to spend a day aboard the STEM mobile lab. The excitement I would have felt becoming the gravity jousting champion or the Mars mission commander. The excitement I would have felt to build, to create, to problem solve was what my developing mind was starving to do. And the challenges I would have faced would have left me hungry for more. I hope that I have engaged your minds with the possibilities afforded by having a mobile lab at your command and all the exciting challenges that would come with it. Thank you all very much for giving me your time and consideration and allowing me to share my passion with you.